Hello YouTube, my name is Jay and today we're going to learn about analog inputs. In our last video we did analog outputs driving this LED with the PWM signal, and now we are going to move on to analog inputs. So what I did is I removed the button, which is no longer on the breadboard, which you can see, and I added this potentiometer. And this is a 10K potentiometer with a knob, and basically it's a resistor that is variable. So when you turn the knob, it can go all the way to 5 volts, and when you turn it the other way, it'll go all the way to ground. And it's connected to pin A0. And all of these A pins, they're capable of reading analog voltages. So you can't hook this up to the D0 pin and get it to work. It has to be connected to the A pins. And for the code, instead of writing code again, I'm going to use one of the examples. So let's go ahead and find an example, analog input. So go to analog and then let's just do analog in and out serial. Okay, so close that one. Let's scroll down. And you'll see that they're using A0 like me, and then they're using pin 9, so I'll change that to pin 10. And they have some variables here to store the sensor value and the output value, and they're using serial, which we're not going to use right now since we haven't learned that yet. And then we'll go down and we'll see what the code does. So it says sensor value equals analog read, analog pin. So analog read versus the analog write as last time allows you to read from one of these pins, and in our case pin A0. That information or that value is stored in sensor value variable, and it can equal between 0 and 1023. The map it to the range. Remember that PWM can only go from 0 to 255. So this value of 0 to 1023 is mapped to 0 to 255. So this is a little function that we call that changes the value from 0, the full scale value of the analog input, to the full scale value of the analog output, and it saves that in the output value. And then it just calls analog write like we did last time, and it writes it to the out pin and the value. And this is again serial print, which we don't need right now. And we'll go ahead and program this. And when we turn the pot, what we should see is that the LED follows the pot. So when I turn it up, it goes up, and when I turn it down, it goes down. And that is how you do analog inputs. Thank you for watching. See you next time.